Hello everyone, I'm Genie, and today I'm gonna be making this video so you can understand a little bit more about the ranking system, about what it takes to rank up, about what it takes to get to Masters, and it will probably help you to rank up depending on like if you're tilting a lot lately, if you don't understand what you're doing wrong, or if you know you don't really understand what type of path you should be going for, right? So hopefully I can help you with that. That's my main objective, okay? Alright, and so before we start, I would like to say that this video will probably not get old, so it doesn't really matter what meta you are. These are principles that will help you to rank up regardless of the meta, regardless of what time you're watching this video. Besides, this video is not an attempt to bash onto Swim, because he's a very good player. I guess everyone knows that, and I shouldn't even need to say that, but this is not an aggressive video, and you're gonna understand a little bit more about it later. I'm gonna be showing you these two games that I played against him, so you know, it adds a little bit more credibility to what I'm saying, and it kind of helps me prove the point later on, as you will see. So yeah, let's go to the games. Do subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content and other Legends of Runeterra content that I've been posting every day. Not every video I make is a guide, but sometimes I can make some upon request, right? Don't forget to leave a like on the video and comment with what you think of the video. If you want to wait to do it later, then so be it, but don't forget to do it nonetheless. All right, so yeah, let's go to the video. All right, so first I would like to touch on what does it mean to be at Masters rank. What does it mean to reach Masters rank? So reaching Masters rank means that not only you understand the mechanics behind the game, for instance how the turns work, how the cards work, how the keywords work, and all those interactions, you also understand how the ranking system works, what it takes to rank up. That's pretty much what it means to reach Master's rank. You know, meaning that you'll always try to make the best decisions possible, having in mind that playing to the best of your ability is more important than the outcome of the game, for instance, because the outcome of one game will not tell you how skilled you are. You know, it will not define your skill as a whole. Alright, so understanding how the ranking system works, right? This system from Legends of Runeterra and other card games works differently from other games. So for instance, skill is different in card games than it is in other games, because there are a lot of variables and your game plan will change throughout the course of the game depending on what cards you get, which is different than you're playing, for instance, FPS, right? Let's say that you're playing Counter-Strike, for instance, and even if you don't play Counter-Strike, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. If you get a very weak weapon to a very highly skilled opponent and put him to play against lower skilled opponents, he is probably going to demolish them and win by himself pretty much every game that he wants to. Like, if he's trying hard and if you give him enough resources that you can give him every single round. Skill is that much relevant there, like, right? Execution is more relevant there. While in card games, for instance, let's take Swim, right? Since I'm using him as an example in this video. If you give him a very bad deck, even though he's a highly skilled individual, if you give him a very bad deck and put him up against a mediocre opponent with a very strong deck, he will have trouble winning. He might win some games because he's more skilled, right? But overall, he's not guaranteed to win every single game, which is different from other games. So by playing, by playing card games, you're bound to lose, and this is something very important to keep in mind. The most important thing to climb the ladder, if that's the only thing you are aiming for, right? You're not aiming to have fun per se. You're aiming just to climb the ladder. Then you should keep in mind that winning more means more than losing, right? So for instance, if you lost a game, it doesn't really matter if in the end, you know, your numbers are positive. You have won more than you lose. And this is more important like for the second thing that I'm gonna say, because for instance, how can you measure that, right? You should, sit and see your rank, right? And then you will start playing and think, okay, I have this much time to play, I will play for this long, and I want to get to that rank. That's my objective. And if you reach that objective, you should probably stop and then do the same thing on the other day, because this kind of guarantees you that every time you play ranked, every time you go for it, you will always be focused. You will always try to make the best decisions possible, because seriously, your mind can burn out. For instance, Swim and Mogwai, other guys, they stream for extended period of time, and by the end of the streams, I believe most of them are like this. They start losing focus, they start losing the grasp of what's the best decision that they can make, and this affects rank. But they cannot stop the same way that I can't stop when I'm making a video. For instance, I sacrifice the quality of my plays in order to make a video. They sacrifice the outcome of their plays, the quality of their plays, to make a stream work, right? They can't really take breaks. Now you can take breaks. You can play, for instance, for 1 hour or 2 hours, the longer that you can keep your focus on, right? And you can kind of maximize your win percentage, because by the time if you push, like let's say, no, I'm at Diamond 4 and I want to get to Masters today. That's probably not going to happen. You will start winning a lot of games. If you're using a strong deck, you'll start winning a lot of games, and then by the end of it, you will lose. You will start losing, and you will lose pretty much a lot of the progress that you made until that point. So that's why you need to have an objective. You need to have a goal. I know that my head works, like for playing ranked, right? For 3-4 hours max, right? So what I do is, every time, for instance, I was on Diamond 4, I believe. Yeah, obviously I was on Diamond 4 before I reached Masters. And my objective was, okay, so today I want to get to Diamond 3. If I got to Diamond 3, I'd stop. I would just stop. Because my objective was made. It was already done that day, right? So I stopped while my mind was still fresh. So I didn't really risk losing games because I was starting to get tired, or because I was starting like pushing myself and not really want to play the game. This is very unhealthy. If you start doing that, you will probably start losing and tilting more than winning, and seriously, there is not really a point in doing that. So another very important, kind of crucial thing that you need to do, and this is one reason why I posted this video with Swin's gameplay in it. You should always play strong decks, guys. Always, you want to climb, that's your only objective. You don't really want to have fun at the game. Okay, so if you want to climb, you need to play strong decks, because as I said, this game works differently than FPS. It works differently than fighting games. It works differently. It works differently from MOBA. There are a lot of things here that are not under your control. So in order to maximize your gains, in order to maximize your chances of winning, you will need to use strong decks. And by spam, you need to spam strong decks, and I'm gonna explain exactly why. So first, when you get a deck, sometimes you don't really know how to pilot it, you don't know how to get out of every situation, and by spamming, you're gonna be playing that so much that in the end, you will know exactly every single situation, and you're gonna know exactly what card you want in every situation, which will bring more consistency to your plays, and it will make you know exactly what you should mulligan for, right, in different matchups, because you've been there before, you've been playing that match a lot of times, so you know how to pilot it. And that's only doable, like for instance, if you're not that experienced, that's only doable by practice. And the only way you practice is by spamming a deck. If the deck is strong, you will have very good results in a very low amount of time. Another reason for spamming a deck, if you can mimic a very strong deck's win rate, you're just bound to reach Masters. You're bound to reach Masters. Like for instance, let's say that the deck that I was using right now in this video, I was using Harrowing Darius, right? That deck has 60% win rate, which means that if I can mimic that and I can win 60% of the games, meaning that out of 10 games, I will win 6 and lose 4, right? It's not extreme, it's not really fantastic, but if I can mimic that, actually it is pretty good win rate. If I can mimic that, I'm guaranteed to reach Masters eventually, guaranteed, right? Because that's how the numbers work. It's no mystery in that. So that's why you should spam a deck, and if you change a deck, you're more likely to make misplays and to not play that correctly, because first, you're not familiarized with it. Second, you don't know exactly what to do in every matchup. So for instance, let's say that you got unlucky, right? Let's say that you got unlucky. You're playing a very strong deck, you got unlucky, and you lost 2 or 3 games in a row. If you change your deck right now, you're gonna be messing up all that win rate mechanic that you've been having in your mind. And not only you're gonna do that, but you're gonna be entering in a territory that you don't really know how to pilot. You don't really know what to do in every single situation. So if the problem is losing 1 or 2 games and that really pisses you off, you should stop. Just stop. Right? This is a very common thing that happens in poker as well. I don't play poker, by the way, but I have a lot of friends that do. And they say that sometimes when you lose, let's say that you lost like 3 times in a row, you think you can get it back. You think that you can get it back, and that's when you really start, digging yourself a hole and, putting yourself in it. Because you're getting into that mindset that really now I need to win. When in reality, you don't need to win right now. But you get into that mindset, I need to win. And then you start making mistakes that are kind of unjustifiable. So that's one reason why I should say that you need to make yourself your numbers that you can achieve, right? So for instance, okay, I want to get to this rank today. Next day I'll do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. And you should know what time you should stop playing. This is very important. You should not tilt, because as I said, this is a numbers game. This is a game of numbers. If you play the numbers right, eventually it will get to Masters, right? Alright, so at last, to prove that everything I said was right and I really do put in practice everything I said, I won this 2 games against Swim, which is a very strong player. He is a very strong player indeed, and doing that doesn't really make him better. It doesn't really make me better than him, and it doesn't make him better than me. Like, I was trying hard while he was probably making a deck. So odds were on my favor because my deck's win rate was higher. So this shows that the ladder, the ranks, they don't really care about who you are. They don't care about if you're a streamer. They don't care if you're a YouTuber. They don't care if you're a tournament winner. They don't care really about anything. The ladder and the ranks, they only care about what deck are you playing and who makes the least misplays. And meaning that if you have discipline, if you try hard, if you have critical thinking, if you learn from your own mistakes, which is extremely important, which should be your main priority, learning from your own mistakes, this will lead you to very high gains on the long run. If you do all that, you're bound to get to Masters. There's no way you don't. There's simply no way you don't. You just need to stop tilting. And if you start tilting, stop playing. For instance, I tilt when I lose to Pure for Goods. And even if I win against Pure for Goods, sometimes I tilt. So I just stopped playing. I stopped playing. I don't play anymore. Maybe sometimes even for the day. I don't play ranked anymore because I tilt. I lost the joy from playing. So I just don't do that anymore. And that kind of, increases my win rate because I will only be playing when I'm at my best position, when my mind is at its best functioning process, right? And with all that said, like, even if sometimes people say, oh, they should make another rank like Grandmasters or something, it wouldn't change anything. Nothing would change because the philosophy behind it would be the same. You grind, you rank up. That's how it works. It doesn't mean that you're fantastic at the game. It just means that you grind a lot, to be at rank 60, which is the rank I am, for instance, or even rank 1, which was the rank that Swim were, I think, last week. It just means that that's a lot of grinding. It doesn't really mean anything else besides that. So this is it for this video, guys. Let's just summarize here, right? First, you need to be critical about your plays. You need to improve your plays, you know, just by playing the game and, you know, seeing what you're doing wrong, right? And this comes only from experience. Second, you need to spam strong decks. This is mandatory if you wanna climb, right? This is mandatory because you need to increase your win rate, and this is pretty much one of the best ways to do it. And third and last, you need to stop tilting, buddy. You need to stop tilting. You need to understand that this is a game that you will lose, and it's part of it, right? This is not like the other games that I said, like it's not an FPS that everything will be resolved, you know, everything will be solved with skill alone. This is a lucky game. This is even if they don't introduce any other type like a catastrophe like Appeal for Goods, this still is a lucky game. You need to draw cards. You know, a lot of things there are out of your control, so you need to stop tilting. If you tilt, stop playing, go do something else, go drink a cup of water, go, you know, go see the sun a little bit, go see the birds outside, you know, look at the rainbows, do something like that, right? And by the way, guys, if you're watching me, I'm gonna leave you a message. If you're watching me and you're one of those guys that when you win, you want to shove that on your opponent's face, I want you to know that I know that you're a very sad individual, because winning those games doesn't really prove anything, and all you're doing is just making your opponent feel bad. So, buddy, come on, get better, right? There's no reason to do that, all right? So let's all be positive. Let's not do those type of stuffs because it's very toxic. If you want to use your emotes, all right, just do that. But you know, there's no reason to make your opponent feel like crap. There's no reason to make him feel like garbage. And remember that if you won today, you will probably lose tomorrow. And if you do that to your opponent today, I hope that tomorrow you are on the receiving end because you deserve it. All right. So yeah, that was kind of heavy. God damn it. All right, lads, this is going to be it for this video, right? Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment if you think this was helpful or not. I'm probably going to be making a video with more specific tips about how to rank up, kind of common mistakes that people make on lower ranks, and kind of, you know, stop you from winning some games that were already won, right, for you. So if you like this type of content, just let me know. If there's something specific that, you know, a content specific that you would like me to make, just let me know as well, because I can make it. And it's good to know exactly what my customers, what people that watch me want to watch, because therefore I can guide my content a little bit better. And you know, making guides like this is not that difficult for me. It doesn't really require much, and it's pretty fun to make. I think it's pretty healthy for me to talk about things like this. If you like this type of video, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, lads, that's it for this video. So see ya.